Right, well, good morning, councillors, and welcome to this October council meeting. Members of the staff, members of the public, we have a delegation here. Welcome from Wairoa. Good to see you guys down here. The press and others yet to arrive. I will ask Debbie Hewitt to take us through the prayer, please.
O God, our Creator, bless us as we gather today for this meeting. Guide our minds and hearts so that we would work for the good of our community and help all your people. Teach us to be generous in our outlook, courageous in the face of difficulty, and wise in our decisions. We ask this grace through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Excuse me. Right, we'll deal with apologies and notices. We have two presentations which I'd like to get on to first thing if that's possible. So the only apology that I have is Mr Mohi for lateness at 10 o'clock. Someone happy to move that we accept that, please? Thank you, Councillor Barker. Thank you, Councillor Pipe. All in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. Are there any notices for this meeting today? You have a notice? Yeah.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. Good morning, councillors. You will probably have noticed in your agenda that the audit and risk workshop, which was scheduled for this afternoon, is going to be run concurrently following the long-term plan workshop tomorrow. That's due to an availability issue with the presenter. So we're going to run that at 2 o'clock tomorrow following the long-term plan workshop instead of today.
No other notices. Conflict of interest declarations. Thank you. Right, well we have... yes. You're in the dark.
Oh, the bulb's gone, has it?
Yeah. Taking the power out of it. Yeah, okay. Right, okay. If we could just welcome a delegation from Wairoa here who've got a petition to present to us. So, gentlemen, if you could please come up to the front. Enough seats here, okay. So we'll get you set up there. So we've got Bruce Ross and Mike Little. And good morning, guys. Welcome.
Good morning,
The co-pop is pretty simple. You have 10 minutes to present. If you want us to ask you some questions, if you think that would be helpful, try and fit it into that 10-minute time slot. Okay. But it's your time. You can do what you want with it. So good morning and welcome.
Okay, you want to go first? Yeah, I'll go first. I'm a resident of Wairoa. And we've got a petition out because of our flowing water seems to be getting sprayed in some of our drains and streams in Wairoa. We would like to see it actually stop, but we're concerned on the bird life, the fish life, and the aqua system in Wairoa with the spraying going on in some of the drains and streams. We would like to see a different approach if we could come on board with you and see if there's some way of actually changing from spraying these streams and this flowing water to some other approach of either ribarian strips or some way of looking after our streams and flows because of the aquatic life and the vegetation life that we're actually killing with the sprays that are actually being put into the water. I know your theory is that it's flood prone, so you want to try and move the water. Our theory is that we need to look after drains because some of them are actually undermining from too much spraying, and also we're losing our bird life and our eels and whitebait habitat, the habitat for our things. So we're a bit concerned. We haven't seen any ribarian strips put in as such as some of these things that we see here, where you've got people doing their bit to try and put streams and put them back in their natural system, the natural way they have been. Also bogs like this one here, which has been a bog put back into where it's coming. Now Warra hasn't got much of this going on at all at this stage through regional council or anything, and so you know this is where we're coming from. And so we've actually got a petition, and Mike will come on with that in a few seconds. We're worrying a bit about the sedimentation going out into the river, going down onto our foreshores, because there seems to be a lot more sedimentation coming. I know it comes from upstream as well. I'm not saying it just comes from these areas. And so we need to look at how we can stop this flow of sedimentation actually getting out, and how we can look after these habitats for these animals, the watercress, all this sort of things that are in. We've got a multicultural race in Moira which live off a lot of these things, and therefore they've been on board with our petition to try and change the way we're thinking, or you're thinking with your spraying in the drain. So if we can look at some other way, or some way of amending that and getting a proper thing done, or something that can look after our waterways, much appreciated. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, Chairman Penton, councillors and staff members and the public. I'm Michael Hugh Little, born and raised in Hastings, and a 50-year resident of Wairau, where I've raised a family, run a business and enjoy the lifestyle. But my business here today is with Bruce Ross, who's already introduced himself, to present a petition that consists of 880 signatures and letters of support for that petition as well, for the council as such, to desist spraying the verges of creeks, drains and streams in the Wairau area. This is so that natural conditions are restored to the waterways. And councillors, when it comes to a vote, by voting for the cessation of spraying, you'll be gifting long-term satisfaction to a very wide sector of the public. There'll be more ducks for the hunters, more whitebait to be caught, and those harvesting kai moana. They'll have more eels, kura and watercress to take home for kai. The end result's a happy community. And I have an expectation that the council will give attention to their land use and water policy, in particular term items 318 and 319, as to how they can improve the Ohinia Parker stream south of Wairau, where it follows State Highway 2. Also, that they follow Dairy New Zealand in drain construction and maintenance, which introduces sympathetic cleaning that will aid the restoration of important habitat. I have some recommendations for you as well. One is that you accept our petition, which I have no doubt you will. As regards the drain construction and management, that the council has a very hard look at the best practice of Dairy New Zealand. I have a folder here that has some information on the Dairy New Zealand process. There are letters of support from some iwi in the Wairau area and others. And that's me, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Little. Right, has anyone got any questions?
Yes?
Councillor Graham.
A couple of questions. Firstly, thanks. I really appreciate you coming all this way to talk to us. Clearly, this is a real issue in your minds, and we need to have a good look at it. The first question is, do you know, I suppose it's a question for the council, but are you aware what chemical we're using?
Can you just speak into your microphone? Sorry.
Roundup.
Yeah, I think so, Roundup.
Is that correct?
And on a drum of Roundup, if you ever look at the bottom, they actually have a symbol with a circle through, which is actually no spraying over water, like fish die, other things die, and it's actually on the bottom of a Roundup can. Which is there's actually a tractor that comes up from the bay here that actually has got a boom on that actually goes down into the drain and sprays along the drain, which is spraying the flowing water of the drain. It's actually spraying. I took Fenton and, sorry, I've forgotten your name, Mike, out and showed them one of the streams that's actually sprayed, and the other side, which has actually still got watercress and good habitat in it, because it's not one of their spraying programs.
So my second question is, have you got any thoughts on alternative, or what the alternatives are?
Two things.
Can I answer that one for you,
Yep,
Bruce?
there you go.
That has spelled out what I've recommended the use of Dairy New Zealand practice on drain construction and management. They have a very good process set up, and that's been developed with the regional councils in the Waikato. And believe me, it is, when you read it and see it, it is very good value.
If I could just ask a follow-up question, can you be a bit more specific about what that management consists of?
Yep, you'd probably need to read the piece on it. I'll read a bit of it out. Drains only need to be maintained if they block up with silt and weeds. And here are some ways to reduce the need for maintenance. Put in fencing to eliminate stock damage to drain banks and reduce siltation. Leave an ungrazed grass strip beside drains to filter nutrient and sediment runoff. Use sloping banks to prevent erosion or collapse. Go for a V shape as noted above. Include sediment traps to restrict flow of gravel, sand and coarse silt down the channel. If cultivating in paddocks with drains, be sure to leave at least 2 metres uncultivated along the drain bank to reduce sediment runoff. If spraying for weed control, use an appropriate herbicide and spray only in the bed of the stream or drain, not the grassy bank, to prevent bank erosion. And ensure good access, including gateways and fences and margins wide enough for a digger. You reduce the impact of mechanical drain cleaning. I'm skipping a bit here. You use a digger with a weed rake or stream cleaning bucket to allow water and stream life to escape back into the drain. That has a boom of around about 3 metres wide, and basically just takes the reeds out and doesn't upset anything. Work in a downstream direction. Leave a buffer of weed at the lower end of the drain to trap silt while working, and clean this area last. And the important thing is the V shape of the channel. That gives a faster water speed and actually cools the water. And you need to identify weeds in the drain and be sure they are a problem before spending time and money to remove them. Water plants can help stabilise banks and bed sediments, reducing erosion. They also take up dissolved nutrients from the water and provide habitat for insects, fish and birds. But as I say, there's a couple of sheets here that I guess you can pick up. You can access Dairy New Zealand on a computer, and it's easy enough to go right through that.
One more question. We've got time for one more. Councillor Scott.
Thank you for presenting this to us. You did suggest riparian planting and held up some examples. Fairly extensive riparian planting has been taking place in Havelock North. All the ratepayers have been charged an additional rate to cover the cost of this. Would the ratepayers, the people who signed your petition, get behind this sufficiently to actually pay an extra rate?
Mike and I actually are on the Pyro Stock stream, which is one of the streams that runs into Wairoa from the northern end. I actually pay 2 separate rate lots on that, because I have one that goes to the river through my place, and I have, which is a dry stream or dry drain, and I have the other one which is a stream which is fed from flowing water from springs. Now these have been, over the years, they've been cleaned out. Now these drains are fairly deep, are fairly big. I don't think that we've ever had, well, except for Baby Bowler, water going over the top of them at this stage. Therefore, they are already formed, and as Mike was saying, with these new booms that just take the bit out of the bottom or whatever on the diggers, it seems to be that they are more appropriate than actually spraying and killing and actually undermining our streams, or letting that sediment go out into our rivers and whatever else, and that's also that spray going out and killing the actual things that are in our drains or our streams, killing the actual habitat for all those animals and aquatic life is what we're looking at. And we haven't, as Fenton will say, we haven't got very much riparian strips or anything in Wairau at this stage. We're actually still taking trees out and stuff like this is actually happening. So, you know, it's come to a stage now that I think they should be looking the other way around and putting these streams, you know, putting these riparian strips in, and because their drains are formed, it's not going to cost a lot of money to keep the drains the way they are unless we have a big flood. Therefore, we should be looking at actually doing the planting and actually looking after our streams that are formed, are ready to go.
Thank you. That's our 10 minutes up. And I'd really like to thank you guys for the work you put into this and coming all the way down here. Mike, Adi and I have had one meeting with these guys. I really appreciate the intention that we could work together and find a solution for this. And I think you've brought an issue to a head, which gives us an opportunity to move forward on it. So today we'll receive your petition. We'll have a mover, seconder for that. But I'll just say that then means we look at other solutions. And in saying that, you know, we've got, I don't know how many kilometres of stream that we spray in Wairau, but one system down here is 500 kilometres on its own. So, you know, we can find a solution that is a better solution, doesn't cost any more, and as you say, enhances the area we're in. Don't worry about that. So.
Thank you.
Okay, so would someone like to move that we receive the petition? You're happy to do that, Councillor Graham? We have a second. Thank you, Councillor Barker. I'll put that motion, then all those in favour please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you, Fenton. Thank you, councillors, and thank you for our time.
Yeah, no, thank you.